Good afternoon, folks. I'm Baroque, and welcome back to Eternal Strands. With all the codex entries finally all gathered up and read through, our gear upgraded where we want it to be with the fashion we desire, we now make our way into what might well be the last mission or two, and the end of Eternal Strands. What revelations will we have for the story going forward, and potentially this IP from Yellow Brick Games in the future? Well, it remains to be seen. Without further ado, let's get stuck in. Hope you're all doing well today. Hope the workday's treated you kindly. Get yourself a warm beverage. Come join me. Alright, we're ready to go. On the precipice. Oh, there was a talk. Bollocks.
This is going to be a challenging expedition. Are you ready?
Almost.
There's a few things.
Good idea. This is a complex plan with a lot.
I am well armed as thought. I just noticed you had something to natter about, which I missed.
The arbalists seem particularly good at evading projectiles. Close fast, dodge, block, get cover, or pull them close to you with Weaver's grasp.
We're a bit late for these, are you? Alright, I mean, maybe the arbalists show up a lot more.
A challenging expedition.
We're ready.
Have Eric escort Khan Arteme here. I'm ready to move out.
Good. Take some time to rest. And I'm sure everyone will want a chance to speak with you before you head into the rift.
Oh, go on then. We've always got to have a good natter.
I'll be fine.
I know that. Just make sure the others do, too.
So that face, Aria.
All right.
Oh, we're getting a little cutscene version of it. It's been quite a journey, hasn't it? Especially for a debut game of a studio, I've really enjoyed my time. I'll save proper thoughts till we get to some kind of credit screen, but I think they've done a marvellous job. Rest in the point tent. Everybody wants to chat first. We'll save Casman for last, I think. We'll go around and see everybody else. Oh, I should. I am all fully upgraded. I'm 99% sure. Yep, we're good to go.
Sola, how are you feeling about the upcoming expedition?
These days I can handle just about anything. And that's in large part thanks to you.
Me?
You supported me through all this Tarmakine stuff without falter.
Sorry, microphone.
Even when it felt like my world could crumble in the face of it.
Slapped you with my brew.
And then, you didn't just bring Dom and I back together. You and Casman showed us we never really lost one another.
Oh, it's going to be all soppy.
I just feel so much more resilient thanks to you.
Come on. That was all you.
Oh, bashful Bryn.
I'm not selling myself short, but you gave me space to grow as a person. Not a lot of friends are brave enough to do that.
Anytime, Sola.
I'm ready to do whatever it takes to help you succeed at the Source Spring.
Glad to hear it.
Kim.
Hey.
How's it going, Eric?
Sorry, I get kind of keyed up before anything big. Breathing helps.
Listen.
And this is a big one, isn't it?
Maybe the biggest. At least in recent memory.
Legendary understatement. Anyway, we're as ready as we can be on my end. The scouts still in fighting shape after Stanord's folly are deployed. They'll be reporting on Surgeborn behavior and ready to intercept if anyone moves against Dharm and the Axle. We're even field testing some reweaves to the enchantments on our scries. Some progress there.
Sounds like the guide is settling into his role pretty smoothly.
Yeah, well, I mean, someone's got to. I mean, thanks. We're going to do this, Bryn. You're going to do this.
That's the plan. Thanks for all your support.
You're what we needed. Someone to step up and damn the consequences.
Damn.
Bryn, not just quick of blade, but big of heart. It's always a pleasure to see you.
It's always a joy to see you too, Dum.
Not everyone can catalyze a discussion between a couple that clearly needed to happen. You'll always have my thanks for that.
How are you feeling about the expedition?
We are as ready as we can be, and with our intrepid point as the vanguard, what could go wrong?
Surely not getting yeeted off edges everywhere.
Rather a lot, honestly.
Yes, but it shan't. You will overcome. You need to keep that in your heart. Hope is like magic. Its real strength comes from inside. Will, fortitude, and belief can overcome the impossible. If you believe that you have what it takes to win the day, you shall. I know this, and you do too.
Lane, and thank you for all the books. They've been
I find
great.
myself once more mining the past for clues. An impulse not born of regret this time. We've achieved much together, it's true. But beyond this, what more can we do?
We've done everything we can, right? So perhaps we just need to have faith.
As alien as it is to me, yes. At some point, we need to lean on belief. Founded in trust, founded in fact. Doing it again?
I don't think I've seen you like this before.
It's not my most particularly favorite way to be.
Why don't we run through some of the preparations you've made to take your mind off it?
Right, yes. I've prepared all the potions and filters you might need. Mixed them up in bulk, thanks to the equipment I've gathered. From the raw ingredients to the essential alkahests to the final products, I am sure that what I've made is of the highest possible quality. You're right. It did help.
Huzzah! Aww. Right, Sev. Now, Master Weather Control Man.
I've run every test I could think of.
You're worried. You have every right to be, but I'm sure you've done your best.
I'm glad you think so. The theory's sound and the system's working well. Better than expected, in fact. When I told you about the Grand Gate and Stanil's plan, I wasn't sure I was doing the right thing. You and the band have helped a lot with that. A lot. I even feel like I understand how the tapestry works. We can fix this place, but I'm going to need your help.
Oh, look at him asking.
Understand?
I look forward to it.
Khan?
After the surge, we no longer had any reason to celebrate. Our seasons were broken, so any festivals we once had to celebrate their transition suddenly lost their meaning. So we stopped.
I hadn't even considered that.
I've lived my whole life like this, only hearing stories of joy and calm and peace and optimism. Never seeing it myself. If we succeed today, there may well be a reason to celebrate once more. And my heart burns with the desire to give that gift to the children of the Enclave, who would otherwise go without.
Aye, aye.
We'll get it done, Karnatame.
Hiroon, I very much hope so. Don't die down there.
Hasn't happened to me yet,
I
so
mean,
that must mean the odds are in my favor.
technically, if you want to call it that.
I'm sure you have thoughts on the upcoming expedition.
It's funny. You'd think I'd be remembering my mother, the expert weaver. But my father is on my mind right now. What it must have been like, cultivating his fields year after year.
I wonder what these conversations are like without any of the bonus content done.
Taking a moment to enjoy what you've cultivated.
I'm at peace.
My new role is to help you build upon what I've learned.
That's quite the legacy.
One last piece of advice before you go?
No, go on then.
Always.
When the time comes for you to find your own apprentice,
Oh,
choose one that can help you with this transition like you've helped me.
I can't imagine it'll come up, but sure.
If I survive this, you mean?
We both know you will.
Oh, so much faith. Last but not certainly not least. Oh wait, Arva. You have been fantastic, Arva. Well done. Kaz.
You're looking radiant, as always.
My goodness, Bryn.
Is that your way of buttering me up before you dive into a deadly rift?
Yes.
Can't I just compliment the most beautiful girl in the Maida?
You can, so long as we both know I hate everything about this expedition, and nothing will change my mind about that.
Duly noted.
Good. Then, so long as you don't take this as my endorsement, I know you can do this. No matter what that crummy herald says when you get down there. You're going to kick its proverbial butt out of the source and save the Enclave as we know it.
Kaz, it helps to hear that.
There's more I want to say, but I'll come find you later.
Oh my goodness.
Looking forward to it.
This better be appropriate stream behavior. I don't want to have to risk the video getting pulled down. Got away with it with Dragon Age, but I had streamer mode turned on.
Hey, you. What are you doing?
Just buckling me up.
Got to make sure you're prepared for this expedition.
Oh, what was I worried for?
Sorry, this is hard for me.
I know.
You mean so much to me, and I just can't stand the thought.
Important one at the end to get a proper
Nothing will
cutscene for them
happen to me.
talking.
I should be the one comforting you right now, not the other way around. I
love you.
should be stronger than this. What?
I love
Aw.
I... That is a ridiculous thing to say right now.
you. I don't care.
You're crazy.
So, are you going to say it back, or should I just head to bed? I've got an early morning, you know.
Shut up. I love you too.
Oh, it's very sweet. And the fade to black, very respectable. And on day 26, we begin.
Sev is set to vent the tangles from the source when you're ready, Bryn.
Descending into the source. Once Bryn descends to the source, she will not be able to return until the events are complete. Prepare accordingly.
Give
Oh,
me
hang
a
on.
bit more time.
It's your call.
I don't think there'll be any conversations remaining. No, but there is one I want to check. Because we might not get the opportunity afterwards. I know there was, the last time we nipped in a chat with our Surgeborn here. It's like a goodbye and that little bit of honesty. Just want to make sure. We've been so diligent up until this point. Obviously, you've naught to say. Not even a good look. Nope, it was indeed the last one. Alright, it was worth checking. It was worth checking. Now, last time we fought the Herald, I feel like, apart from taking a few big blows that I felt were undodgeable, turned out they were a little bit dodgeable. Did alright against it, so I'm confident.
Sev is set to vent the tangle.
I hope this works.
We have every reason to believe this will make the source tolerable for you. I'll tell Sev to get started. Dom and Khan Arteme will escort you to the rift with the Ark.
I love how all of the magic is interconnected by the whole threads thing going on. Here's if we get one of these. Comic-y 2D ones. We've not had one of these for ages.
The rift has been vented.
Maybe even the start. Oh no, we had one at the big fight.
It's as safe as it's going to be.
With the spindle.
You sure that rope can hold us both?
It'll do the job. Just try to land gracefully.
Can't be heavy.
Always do.
No, we don't, Bryn. Do not lie.
Got it.
My magic will only carry the arc for as far as I can see you.
Down to the deep.
Good luck, Bryn of Carnhaven.
Ah. It'd been really funny if it carried her the whole way, just on its back like a backpack.
Have to carry it.
Oh, we're in. You watch me open this map. 50 codex entries. It says 0 out of 0, but collect 2 to reveal, so a little confusing.
You've kept me waiting.
Hello.
Ignore it.
I plan to.
You'll find I demand attention.
I'm nervous about missing some.
You're a little curious, though. After all, you have paid me visiting myself.
I did.
I am not listening to you.
But imagine what I could offer you if you did.
I highly doubt this is the kind of game where we'd suddenly get an evil choice at the end.
Stand out.
Breathe through it, Bryn. I know its voice is making your skin crawl. I feel it too.
It helps when you guys are talking instead of it.
Then we'll keep talking. We're here for you.
No
Oh,
matter
no.
what that voice says, stop the herald before. You can do it again. Bryn,
Rolling these things everywhere.
I know I said I was scared to lose you, but today I woke up calm. This is what you were born to do. Go get him.
I love.
One last chance. Join me, and I'll grant you strength beyond your wildest dreams.
It's a weak offer.
I've already told you, I don't need it.
If you're strong enough without me, why are there 7 crutches chattering in your ear?
Even worse approach. Power of
They're not
friendship.
crutches. They're friends.
We could be friends.
There you go. That's a better tact. I wonder if it upgrades my strand for killing this thing straight away, or if I'm going to be back down here fighting it a couple times before stream's end. We'll find out. Hey, beastie.
What's so funny?
Couldn't destroy me with an arc of my size. And so you brought a toy instead.
I thought it was just walking forwards. Oh, powerful toy. Gotta be alarmed or... Getting ready to dodge.
Destroy it after you perish.
All right, here we go. Clear the ads first. Avoid the fireballs. Good gravity well. Okay, so I wanted bow, I wanted frost bombs to weaken the armor of the slightly lightened bits first. Here we go. Whoa! Sword swing! And again! Oh, hit the wall. That's the biggest region of it. If I can get all that icy. Oh, I wonder if I can stream myself out of it. Oh, I can! Look at that! Click. Break this little bit I'm on. It seems to be the darker colour, so I think not. I'm going to keep moving. Ah, mistimed it. This whole game I've been garbage at grabbing these hands. Keep them icy. Ooh, big sweepy swing. Okay, at least I know that gets me out of it reliably. Oh, I was stood on like a bit of guff at the top. Wait, there goes a couple. Ooh. Okay, I can't actually climb the vortex either. I didn't actually check last time we did this fight. Give me them horns. I missed. Grab. There's another. Keep her dodging. Let's get it iced up again. Oh, as if. Okay, it's very specifically every time I get a piece knocking me off with it. That works beautifully. Too low. A little too high. Managed to dodge with it. There we go. Oh, I kept hold of it too. Just beautiful, beautiful. Same again. Yeet out of it. Oh, hello. You're just chilling over here? Oh, it homed. Cheeky bugger. I feel like the game's giving me a lot of healing potions. I don't think that's necessary per se, but I ain't gonna look a gift horse in the mouth. Harvest the Herald to complete. Its powers are too strong to defeat normally, unlike the other great creatures in our camps. That's what game is like. You have to do the suck. Well then. Let it be finished. Well, I was kind of hoping for a phase 2 or 3, but job done.
Bryn, what's dark?
Oria?
Bryn, we're losing.
Oh, it's got my bow instead of my sword equipped. Sadness. It's a pretty bow, to be fair.
So typical of your species. The breach is too wide for your arc.
Breach? What breach?
The breach between our world and yours, of course.
Oh, they're aliens. Does the coral come from there too, or?
From another world?
You call us Surgeborn, but we are ancient. As old as the tear between worlds that bleeds what you call magic. A wound your kind tore wider in their own quest for power. Until they could no longer contain it. And the inevitable happened.
The surge.
The surge. An event so
Oh, it hurt them too.
making both worlds, it shook them to their core. And it left a path. One I had to follow. Your kind have mastered the coral. Indestructible and suffused with incredible power. How you barely understand and haven't earned. Power that should and will be mine.
Not inherently of them either.
Who to compete with me? I carry with me 1,000 souls and 1,000 bodies. You are an insect. Consider it an inherent failure of your species.
Could you shut up?
Does the truth strike a nerve?
No, you're annoying. And I'm trying to think.
Bryn, Arik managed to get the scry back, for now.
We've lost visuals.
The Herald is down, but regenerating. And the Arc of Verdance. It's working, but the raw magic is too much. The Arc can't pacify the tangles.
You need to get out of there. Now.
No,
We're not heroic sacrificing, are we? Kaz will be so upset.
Find another way.
Don't bother. You will die. Just like the Eye's daughter.
If that's what it takes.
whatever it takes. Her name was Isla.
Strange we're echoing the eyes words at the end there. Oh, I can sword. No, I can't. Thank you for the healing potions, that's very kind. A lifetime as point has given Oria keen senses, even through the scry, even when the foe is unlike any other. I just want to equip me sword, game. Little arc fella. Come on, let's go. Watch out, Cape. What's she doing what Isla did? Looks like we're not closing this rift, we're just shielding it. comic one. Been spoiled. What, do we just knock off the veil?
Bryn. Can you hear me? Bryn. Talk to me.
Oh no.
Come on.
I...
Oh, for a moment I could feel the welling. Oh. Alright, you can still move bloody quick. Long after our exploits have seized this hearth, every weaver must pledge their mantle to its safekeeping from adversaries' danger, whatever the source, lest we lose our home forever. Maximilian Mardam, former of the Enclave. And somewhere in the world still. Oh, and now we're rolling the credits. Oh. Good game, Yellow Brick Games. Good game. And we know some of these names we will have found on our yellow bricks throughout the journey. Oh look! There's a yellow brick next to the ones we found! That's such a nice little detail. Oh man, I missed loads of the bloody things. I suppose if someone hadn't clocked that, getting to the screen and it kind of pointing it out, it's very clever. I like that a lot. That's a lovely little detail. As if to say, yeah, you can go get the others if you want. But how hidden must they be to have this many? Mind-blowing. What a fantastic game they've made. I certainly have a few nitpicks and misgivings. I mean, inventory, especially at the start, was very stressful. The hotfix where they added, I believe it was 6 to the base row, was very welcome. And I think even in the early game that would have helped immensely if it had come straight away. I feel like while I really enjoyed the fights and the puzzle element of pulling the strand from each creature, there's certainly room for a little more deeper, if not challenging mechanics to be on display as well. We have a lot of people to thank. Bless. The magic system and like how it physically interacts with stuff, holding monsters down, that kind of thing, I think has been fantastic as well. And I hope if whatever they make in the future, they can increase the complexity of it so you can do more in that regard. And I really like how simple the gear system is, how it changes the like visuals and the color elements of it, and leveling up your weapons to level 5, having them kind of really explode visually is a beautiful touch. I just wish I'd been aware of it sooner so I knew to work towards it faster rather than just thinking it were numbers going up, because that visual upgrade for me is really important. I was really impressed by both the writing and the voice acting. Just how heartfelt it was start to finish. The way of doing codex entries piece by piece, right? So you get those little bits as you're out collecting, and it isn't just inundating you with giant blocks, so that when you finally get back to base, you can read them through at your leisure. It's not like you're being bombarded left, right, and centre. It's part of the reason why we went and got them all. I wanted to know more about this world, and that world building, I think they've done a brilliant job at setting up what could... Oh, it was Amelia Tyler for the search board. I knew it, your Baldur's Gate 3 narrator. Delightful. But the setup they've got here for the rest of this, like, continent, the Maida, with each of the different factions and races, there's so much already built up here. I feel like they've really set the stage for a create your own character type of scenario in future, potentially. Not necessarily, maybe Bryn, Oria, and this other Weaver band here, perhaps they get their own name going forward, and our characters within that game much to age. Not to say that I wouldn't enjoy a game where we're playing as them again. I'd more than happily welcome that. But it feels like their stories have got a neat little bow on them. As for the Enclave itself, maybe you could introduce some building elements. You know, you're rebuilding parts of the city, you're more resources you're collecting, you're putting those into said areas of the city, you're slowly building it back up. We definitely need to understand more about the Coral. I feel like it is integral to the magic and what the Enclave knew before this point. And those mysteries haven't been fully unearthed. The Surgeborn as well, at the end there saying, you haven't even figured this out at all. And we're from another world, and we haven't really, you know, they still want it. It's not like they had mastered it. They had... It seems like they're somehow suffused with it, but they haven't... They want more. There's the eye. What you doing now, scumbag? Don't give him scream time at the end. Wandering off into the distance. Ruin you've wrought. Oh, where was my punch button? I don't necessarily want a Renegade and Paragon style black and white, but I would like the ability to punch the man. No, that'd have been nice. I think on, say, that kind of negative on the bosses not quite having the complexity I would have liked, I think especially for that final boss, apart from one or two small things, like the gravity well on the ground seemed a little bigger, and every time I whacked a piece off of it, it kind of shunted me off of it. I would have loved to see, as I was pulling that final strand, it reach tear me off, and then a phase 2 come out. Like, more of the fight to go. Because that was honestly pretty disappointing, that it didn't add up to more than that, or a souped-up version of that fight. But again, you've got to look at it from the lens of, this is their debut game. Like, there are a chunk of industry veterans in here. I don't know if it's everyone on the team. But certainly... Oh. Oh, on the gravestone. That leads me to believe it's a creator who's no longer with us, but couldn't say for sure. And it was fun going around the areas. I think the, not complaint, but more either I want a game like this to tick off where I found codex entries as I'm scanning around for them, or at the very least near the end of the game to be able to unlock the ability to kind of see them or scout them out, or a little compass, like you're getting warmer type thing, you know, as you approach it, maybe that little compass symbol in the bottom right could have glowed or gotten shinier, and differentiating the noise for the codex entries separately from the chest noise. But I think in terms of like art design and direction and the characters and whatnot they've built, while there's always room for more enemy variety, both on the bigger and smaller scale, I think in terms of the big arcs and stuff they did really well. Again, it's just more of a move set, more you could do with them. Even just without changing anything else on the models, they could just be doing a little bit more, challenge you a little bit more. The little enemies I didn't mind too much. Obviously it'd be nice to see a little more of an expanded combat system just for swinging your weapons. But again, making use of the magic was a lot of fun in there. Though again, for like the archer enemies, it was ice wall and just freeze them in place. Or for a lot of enemies, grab, throw here. What I ended up doing most is using like the black hole thing to either burn or freeze. Became pretty formulaic in that regard, but it wasn't a formula I was bored with. In terms of using those abilities to get around, I barely ever used ice wall as a traversal tool. It felt too fiddly and unreliable, and after a while I just gave up. But the moment I got the bubble jump, which it didn't take too long to get used to, you know, setting it up, priming it, and then using it to fling yourself forward, and then eventually realizing the lower weight you are, the further it will fling you, and, you know, have very tangible results on that platforming, I think worked marvelously well. Even if sometimes you would fling yourself into a building, it wouldn't grab when you wanted to, and it would fling you off an edge. Now, obviously, the tunnel we got nearer the end from the Herald the first time, very useful in terms of angling where you wanted to go, but the bubble still did a fantastic job. Obviously, the telekinesis to just yeet things around is delightful and wonderful, and I hope that as like the foundation for the magic system they can continue to expand on in future. And we don't know if they... Well, we know from the last patch, I believe there was even one today before I started, just some small fixes, that there is going to be a roadmap for more updates. Whether that's any substantial amount of new content or paid DLC is yet to be seen. If there is something big, I will definitely jump on stream with it again. It just depends how much. If it's just, oh, we've added a few more enemies and a few more bits and bobs to fight, maybe not. I'll enjoy it in my own time, but nonetheless, I'm eager to see what Yellow Brick do next. And just to note again, the golden outline instead of an invisible wall, apart from that one time it didn't work, apart from that one time, I just think it's really useful. I'm sick of invisible walls, but if you put a magical wall there, I can see you've got your lore reason for it. You know, it's like, if you go beyond this point, we can't pull you out with the scry. It just lets me know, alright, I don't need to continue in this direction. You know, maybe even showing it a little sooner. And maybe the whole scry system there is something they could work into, not necessarily a hardcore mode, but I don't know, if you had that turned off and the character death would be permanent, there's an idea there. There's something in the mix of that you could muck around with, maybe something in a more roguelike bent, the spin-off type thing, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. I'm eager to explore these lands now. Honestly, it's the kind of thing, with how they've got all that world building set up, where I'm like, you could even, dare I say, make an RTS with it. You could. There's enough factions here. There's land and naval and enclave and technological warfare. That's probably, we've got way over left field now, but you know what I mean. It's that possibility space. That's what I love when you build a world like this, because it just gets my mind racing. I mean, I'm sure you could say that about many a fantasy world, but I don't know, it felt, what's the word? Very rooted here. Like, they knew what pillars they wanted to set up and did so very well. Oh, there's our little Krell farm. Krell? I think it was Krell. Oh, and Ava's there, hanging out with them. And there's babies! And there's babies! Thank you for playing Eternal Strands. Our studio's first game is labour of love, and your support means the world to us. Well, thank you for making it! It's been an absolute delight. Now, New Game Plus, you know. I don't actually know what the game's going to drop me. It dropped me in with a load of Elder Husk, conversations to have, and a quest to do. Is everyone going to have some conversations?
It is good to see you up and about again.
Hey, epilogues.
No. Even when by all rights you should have died. Seems like all circumstances aside, you saved the day.
Aw, you remembered. So, what's next for you, big guy?
The only thing left for me and Tarza are assassins. So, it looks like I'm staying.
Huzzah!
The Axel will love to have someone with your expertise around.
Yes. I am a better collaborator than Stanil, she tells me. And she's willing to provide whatever I need.
Let's have a swig of his beverage.
Just
Make sure you're doing this.
as
Oh,
long
the
as
dialogue has
stabilizes
defaulted to
things,
continue.
And I mean that politically as well as magically.
She's like my mother. Always thinking about her role more than herself. Still, powerful patron to have on your side.
And unlike my last patron,
I've got to be careful about skipping dialogue now if that's on.
About our relationship, we will both benefit from my work.
We've got to have his final
I
natter
don't
with
know
everyone.
many weavers who could do what you just did and survive. Scratch that. I don't know any.
I reckon you could have.
Feel a bit lightheaded from all the tonics, but otherwise, I'm back up on both feet.
We thought you had...
Dom and the Axle practically tossed me through the loom gate after I made my way back up the rope. They looked pretty shocked. I suppose, even with the tangles disappearing, the odds of me making it out of the chasm were slim.
let alone surviving what the spindle didn't. You know, channeling your magic into that arc was risky.
But it was a smaller one.
She did it for the Enclave. So did I. And you would have done the same.
I can't argue with that. On to the next adventure, then.
Oh,
On to the next.
I always love that send off. And the next adventure, we got this. Guys, oh, before we chat, let me just... Ah, that's better. I think off stream, I'll have to level these all up, just so I can see what they all look like, fully decked out.
Now that you're walking and the color has returned to your cheeks, there's a few things I need to say.
Oh no, how dare you do this?
I love you.
Hey!
I love you too.
Oh,
Second,
soppy pet. Oh, yep, here it is.
if you ever scare me like that again, I'll end you faster than any herald ever could.
That's fair.
So romantic.
Bread.
Third, I love you.
Oh, super soppy.
Love this list format, but you already said that.
I really like saying it.
Good. We've got a lifetime of saying it ahead of us.
With everything at the source behind us, I can see it.
Yeah? Give me another list then. What does our lifetime together look like?
For starters, it looks like reading next to one another by the fire each night.
Very
That
cute
sounds
indeed.
Perfect.
Second, if we ever get out of the Vale, I'll take you sailing.
Nothing but open ocean around us sounds pretty good right now.
And lastly, maybe a dog or two instead of kids.
Much
Oh,
more fun.
For now, I'm content to keep having adventures with you. Just wait a while before diving into your next death rift, please.
For you, anything.
we'll see what the devs have to say. Oh, little more.
The Axel and I have opened up trade between our band and the Hearthsiders to support Sev's work with the Aeroliths. She seems lighter since you got back from the source.
Some
I'll have
positivity.
to check in with her and see for myself.
The relief efforts showed me it's difficult to pinpoint when a community is coming out of crisis. But there is one common marker. People start putting things on their calendar again. Could be as small as an appointment with your local apothecary, or as big as sending invitations to your wedding. You can't plan for the future when tomorrow's not a guarantee.
You think the Hearthsiders are starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel?
Not even close. But they're starting to live again regardless.
Oh. Hey, you put my bow back on. Excuse me. I think for the ending, I would like my two-hander, please. Thank you. Arthur, you've done fantastic this whole game. Yes, you have. Check in with everybody else. Full Lane records the whole thing.
Now that Casman's trading with the Hearthsiders, Khan Arteme has reached out to ask if I would forge arms for the Scouts. They've been wearing leftover Ark armor all this time.
Work
Though
ahead of
I'll
you.
have support from the Enclave's smithing guild, it'll be a long project.
You had to settle down like she
Sev won't
wanted.
be teaming up with you on this one.
The Axle has Sev working on the tapestry right now. Besides, I'm just happy to see he's found his calling.
Yeah, even
I
if
didn't
it's
think it
shooting
was
the weather.
possible, but he stands a little taller these days.
Me working with the guild, Sev controlling the weather, you kicking major ass at the heart of the Enclave? Who would have thought we'd wind up here when we first passed through the Vale?
Not me. Part of me thought the Ark of the Stricken Earth was going to do me in.
It did throw us about a bit, Bryn.
You had to know you had a chance at winning. You've all come a long way.
Do you ever miss the days when the stakes of the band's adventures were a little lower?
Strangely, not at all. It's been quite the rush. Though, give us a few more scares like you did when the scry cut out, and I might change my mind.
Don't worry. I can go without defying death again for at least a little while.
Bless. Up and more.
It was interesting to read the Enclave's take on the Empire. They saw Sansa as a wealthy trading partner and largely ignored all the bits that made them imperial.
You mean all the conquest?
I sure do. You know my family was strongly in support of Carnhaven's independence, right?
Glad to hear it.
I didn't know that. But the way you treat me makes it pretty clear where you stand.
There's a lot of Imperials who are stuck in the past and can charitably be referred to as ignorant.
Sounds about right.
What happened to your people was a land grab, plain and simple. The Empire wanted the steel.
My mum would like you. Being nobility, I don't know if your family benefited from that conquest, but I really respect that you reject it.
I watched my parents make a decision and take a stand, and they paid for it. Our lands, our wealth, and eventually their lives.
Oh.
But they were right.
That
brief moment of tears in her eyes
is a big part of why we won our independence again.
The few nobles who supported your nation were a spark, and the flame had truly caught by the time we were on the run.
I'm sorry your family had to pay that price.
I'm not.
Thank you, Sola. Arkham, the guide. How you getting on? You need a fancier cape. I stand by it.
I'll admit, you had us all worried for a beat there. But it's good to see you back on your feet.
Voice actor just having fun with it. Oh, he's actually got some extra things to say.
How have you and the other scouts been doing recently?
Exceptionally well. The Surgeborn are
Can
still
I
out
live?
there, disoriented, scattered, something like that.
Oh, we did close off their
That
outer space
will be
portal.
easier to deal with for everyone involved.
Yeah, still dangerous.
As long as they
but
bring
it's
Amelia
like
Tyler
they're
back for the
roaming
sequel.
aimlessly and only acting on
Surgeborn on side. Ooh.
How are the
Scandalous.
people at Cassidon's Hold faring?
instinct. Everyone can feel it. Things are different. It's like a pressure we'd all got so used to is lifted.
Perhaps literally.
The raw magic, you mean? Hadn't thought of that, but you're probably right.
Tell me about you, Eric.
His voice is like a lot more like high pitched and happy.
Well, on the one hand, still getting used to the title, but it is coming in handy for throwing my political weight around. Hirun and I don't always see eye to eye, but she's sharp and we work it out. We're hoping to lift the restrictions on the scouts mingling with the larger hold populace for one. Lots of happy families.
Oh.
And on the other hand?
I feel like I've won some kind of prize being allowed to spend time with your band. You're all such veterans as weavers. It's an honor to feel like I've been accepted.
You still need a fancier cape.
That all sounds positive. Any thoughts on where we go from here?
Well, there's one very important thing. You are not allowed to die or make me think you died anymore.
Bless him, the big softy.
Oh, spirits. Yes, of course. I can work very hard on the staying alive front, just for you.
All of us? Really? You didn't see the band's faces when the scry cut out.
I did behind the fourth wall.
These people adore you.
A
Anyway,
rough few
beyond that,
seconds.
it's hard to say. I suppose we start to reclaim things. The veil's not down, just stable.
Oh, okay.
We work with that and see what other wild curves
It
this
looked
place
like it
throws
went
at us.
down.
And with you and your band here, I'm pretty sure
I'll take
we
his
can
word
handle
for it.
anything.
Damn. Oh, before I chat, I need to do... It requires one more, which means our fight's not over yet. We need to go and fight that bugger one more time. However, I don't think it will be much of an issue.
Oh, drat.
Hmm?
Wait, no, thoughtless Dom.
I know we're in third-person mode.
delighted to see you up and about, Bryn.
Are you sure?
I am delighted to see you. And, as it turns out, Lane has just emptied my purse.
You didn't bet I'd fall, did you?
The alchemist about recovery times.
Ah.
Indeed.
More reasonable.
I have zero regrets about learning, for it means you are up sooner than I would have thought possible.
It's interesting that not everybody's had a load of extra
We
tidbits.
clearly did something at the source, but was it enough?
To stabilize things? Oh, yes.
Those are the experts.
What's become abundantly clear is that the source had been damaged, though we're not sure how. Perhaps a small surge that cascaded into the real surge? That's all in the past, though. The current flow of magic seems to be balanced such that the veil is consuming most of it.
That sounds good, right?
Oh, most definitely. It leaves us at an equilibrium. That is so much better than the alternatives.
What's going on with the veil?
It's not coming down anytime soon, but it no longer seems to be overcharged.
Okay, so it's not pushing tangles all over the place.
It's possible the veil was the only thing that stopped the source from outright exploding.
How so?
Its activation pulled and continues to pull, mind you, an enormous amount of magic away from the source.
That source being a portal to another world with coral question mark.
Magic. It's possible the reason the veil went up so suddenly was as an emergency measure.
How's our little arc friend holding up?
Wait, how did he get
So
out?
far, very well. It continues to pacify the raw magic coming
Wait,
from the source.
did I climb up with it?
And is self-sustaining as far as we can tell, thanks to your little push.
Wild.
Please don't do that again, by the way. Very dangerous, and we're all terribly fond of you.
One more glasses for the road.
How about the tapestry? No chance we've managed to remove all the tangles?
Alas, no. Take heart, though. Everything I have observed suggests things are not going to get worse.
Hooray!
They may even improve in time, naturally, now that the raw magic flowing into the Enclave is regulated.
So, what's next for us, do you think?
I have every plan to continue studying the source while I can. The Axel has given me special dispensation. She feels my presence somewhat tempers the ambitions of the High Enchanter. He seems rather keen on becoming the next Spindle, less so on securing a sustainable future for the Enclave.
Hey, Dan was the one who wanted
At
the road.
same
Maybe
time,
he'll
I'm
stay
told
and
the
become High
Alchemist is
Enchanter.
making a hard push for their representative to take the position. Their political jockeying buys me time to poke and prod the Enclave secrets. I have no complaints. Sola's been teasing me about it incessantly, of course, reminding me to take a
I mean, that's the way to do it, where we're custom creator characters in future. These folks all lead the Enclave. You know, they're our quest givers. Folks to natter to.
If you need me for anything, Bryn of Carnhaven.
How would they take into account whatever romance? Again, I'm assuming it's not just Cass who's a romance option. It could be, but I'm unsure. Ah, we got a codex. Surgeborn Herald. We know very little about the so-called Surgeborn Herald. Not what it has told us about itself, but Aurea has a theory. At points, fights with the smaller Surgeborn, like the Talons, have made it abundantly clear that the husk formed around their bodies protects them from the impacts of heat and cold. Kind of insulation, if you will. Thus, Aurea theorizes that the thick husk body could be similarly insulating the Herald's inner body, keeping it safe from harvesting. In a situation where all the pieces of the husk are removed at the same time, it may mimic its smaller cousins and become vulnerable to a harvest. The challenge is that the locust seems to be central to the beast's head, on what could loosely be considered its face. This means that at any point channeling magic there, Bryn or otherwise, will have to restrain the Herald's arm lest they be torn free. Oh. Well, that didn't happen. I just kind of got up there and did it. With this in mind, its sudden and inexplicable lack of sapience can only be considered a wondrous gift. I do not wish to cast a shadow on our achievement of first defeating the Herald at the source, but the fact that it was a last-ditch effort in the face of certain annihilation. If it were possessed of its full faculties, including its ability to learn from both our actions and its own mistakes, I doubt we would be successful a second time. And again, this is not to suggest a lack of faith in Bryn or the Weaver Band. It's simply an acknowledgement of the incredible power of our greatest foe, and an acknowledgement of our own limitations, of course. Again, I wish it had lived up to that a little more, unfortunately.
You were tremendous at the source.
Thank you.
I'll admit, I was rather worried about you, but... Well, you made it through. And, dare I say, defined a generation of weavers in the process. You've made history and lived to tell the tale. Tremendous work.
No.
All in a day's work.
They're so nice.
So few words for such a momentous achievement.
That's your job.
You need to keep that ego under control, after all.
I don't think anyone could blame you for having an inflated ego after taking down the greatest foe imaginable all by yourself.
And
I know,
yet
the Ark of the
to
Forge probably
strain
did me in more
myself.
than all else.
What a cruel world.
Hmm?
So,
Voice actress having
what's
so
next
much
for
fun.
us to do
I love
this?
it.
Getting back into the thick of it already. Let me check my notes. Ah, I have a line of research I'd like to pursue. Come find me when you're ready.
No?
Sounds interesting. I'm all over it.
I look forward to discussing it with you. It's been a remarkably difficult chapter for all of us. While there's still more to do, I think we can take a moment to congratulate ourselves on making it this far. Only then can we look forward. And after all, who knows what the future holds?
And after we congratulate ourselves, what then?
We get back to it, just like we always do.
Well said.
No. Stop it, beggars. Let's have a listen then.
A pleasant morning to you.
Likewise.
What's on your mind?
I've got
Made you ask
something
me.
that I'm struggling to believe.
Then it must be something rather special.
It's about something the Herald said when I fought it in the
Oh.
source.
Planet.
It said that it was from elsewhere. A place we wouldn't be able
Be
to
specific,
understand.
Bryn. Don't hide
And
this
the Herald
information.
claimed to be older than the Surge. Much older.
That is a fascinating assertion. And we've received reports of it reappearing.
Oh, there it is.
Defeated it.
Right. I heard that too. I would
Really?
have mentioned this earlier, but with all the action and me almost dying...
Say no more. I do, however, think that Aurea and Darm need to hear about this too. Aurea? Darm? Would you mind coming over here?
You're looking uncharacteristically serious, Lane.
I'm looking normal, I think. But you are correct.
Bryn?
The Herald claimed to have existed for a long time before the
Oh yeah, the
Surge.
sky went down.
And it said that at the heart of the source, there's a breach between worlds. That's where the Surgeborn came from.
I don't know how we'll tell everyone about this. Will they panic? Will they even believe us? Should we tell them at all?
Probably.
Hold on, Lane. You're jumping to conclusions. It's possible that the Surgeborn was lying.
I don't see the reason to.
Even though it never technically lied to Bryn, it certainly enjoyed its little mind games.
I really don't think that's the case. It wanted Bryn to join it, and this would explain so much about the origin of the Surgeborn.
I believe the solution to our worries is, as always, more research. Bryn, since we've received reports of the Herald reappearing, would you mind hunting it down for us again?
Oh, go on then.
Specifically, to know for sure whether it is as otherworldly as it claimed to be, I will need you to harvest its pattern, as fresh as possible for me.
Absolutely. I've already killed this thing twice. A third time will be a piece of cake.
Splendid.
See, now is where they surprise me
The
with
unknown
more
fills
phases
any
potentially.
fear it may hold over us.
That'd be pretty
Is
sweet.
this course of action acceptable to you two?
Yes. Sounds good to me. What do you think, Lane? Would that make you feel better?
I suppose that's a sensible way forward. Sorry, big revelation. I need to take some time to process this. Dom, will we analyze the resonance together?
I need to process. There are aliens and they're here from another world. Ah.
One step at a time, my friend.
Of course. The resonance, yes.
I can't imagine there's much of a giveaway, but we'll see.
Don't need luck when I've got a team like you behind me.
Evening, AJ. Hope you're doing well, bub. We have just rolled credits, done our big boss fight at the end. But game says, go kill it one more time, which I'm happy to do. I wonder if... Is the prisoner still there? You know, I've heard it once or twice in my life, to be fair. Once or twice. Certainly not a thing you hear often. Oh, Irun wants to chat. I bet the eye doesn't. Still need to punch him.
Goodness, you're irrepressible.
I am.
You've just been to the brink of death and back, but you're already back up and at it.
I like
You're
these little
allowed to
epilogue
take a
chats.
Break, you know.
I get bored easily. much rather be out here getting things done.
Well, I'll say this. Your efforts haven't gone unnoticed. With the Ark of Verdance doing its work at the source, the raw magic is beginning to dissipate. In time, we'll be able to secure a workspace. Then, we can start repairing the tapestry. Everyone in the hold has begun to look to the future. Many never had a reason to. Children and adults alike, sensing the intoxicating allure of newborn hope.
I know what it's like to watch your people rebuild after dark times. It's hard, but beautiful too.
I've been asked by a citizen committee to establish our first new holiday in decades.
Hey.
Spindle's Day.
Oh.
Ah. How do you feel about it?
I wish things were different. And I know she would have hated all the attention, but I think it's right.
I agree.
She'd be really proud of you for stepping up.
I would hope so too. It is the least I can do to honor her memory, day by day. When we met,
I hope so, AJ. He didn't have anything to say for the finale. Nothing.
I was ready to tell you that it was completely reckless. But when you ran through how everyone contributes to your success, that was the moment I knew we might have a chance. I wasn't quite as confident as you, but I at least felt something close to it.
And how about now?
I believe you can do anything you put your mind to.
Oh, we are all cliche and soppy,
Anything
but I
else
love it.
would be ignoring the incredible achievements of some truly unexpected guests.
I'll let them know you said that.
Please do. As always, I have a great deal on my plate to get back to.
Aye, acting
Promise me
aye.
you'll take a break. If only to spend time with the people you care about.
I will.
Could in theory say that, AJ? In theory. We'll see what he has to say for himself in a moment.
Just couldn't take a break, could you? But no. Instead, you had to unearth a revelation
someone told the Axel.
so dangerous it could destabilize the entire Maida Basin.
Not my fault.
Aliens.
Incredible discoveries just fall into my lap.
Right. I admire the work your band did on researching the Herald. Lane, in particular. Hold on tight to them. They're an extremely valuable resource.
Aye, that they are.
Their contributions are tremendous. The alchemy alone. With that, plus the number of times their research has saved our
I do love the
lives,
idea of the Codex
I don't
entries
think they
teaching you the
believe
boss
the War
fights.
Band, even if they
Lovely
tried.
little detail.
We wouldn't let them.
You would be fools to do so. I wanted to mention, by the way,
What you're blushing for.
pass this along. Lane's welcome to visit the hold anytime. Open invite. I'll always appreciate hearing their thoughts.
Aye, aye,
I'll
Axel.
pass it along.
Now, I'd better get back to it. Paperwork won't do itself.
I don't think with the spindle, I couldn't even picture you moving on to somebody else, but there we are.
I'm encouraged by the research Sev's done on the tapestry.
Fair
He has
play,
a
AJ.
quick mind.
The opportunity to prove himself outside of the Norians means a lot to him.
We're going to find out what he can do with a team backing him up.
He's already controlling the
It's
weather,
key
and what
we
more can
repair
he
the
do?
tapestry as quickly as possible. I shudder to think what might happen if the Ark
Oh yeah,
of
he could
Verdance
make some
should
fail-safes,
fail.
I suppose. He does have something to say. So then, what now? Disgraced, dishevelled, and no longer the... Don't call him the eye game, he has lost that position. What have you got to say?
It seems I owe you and Sebastian a word of thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Unexpected, but you're welcome. What's happening?
Hirun has seen fit to approve my involvement in the tapestry repair. As much as it is irksome to be assigned work, I will confess I was getting rather bored and lost in my own thoughts. Something to do.
Thank you for the context, AJ.
I'm sure.
At least we're putting this fella to work. And Arek's right there, keeping an eye on him. Speaking of our new alien friends. It is still in here. Ah, I figured you would be. I'm going to come fight you again in a minute. Oh, I'm not happy we won. How many takes for that growl, Amelia Tyler? How many takes for that growl?
You're being unusually quiet.
Come on, Bryn, get sassy. Or maybe hitting the thing in space did something to the communication.
You can't talk. We didn't just cut off your ability to access the scry. The Ark of Verdance must have done something to you at the source. Huh. I wonder what this means.
Their hive mind is on the other planet. Let's go beat it in again and see if that triggers anything. Maybe it'll just be angry a second time. Interesting, though. Again, a lot of the world building is set up not just for the world here, but for the Surgeborn as a potential foe in future. How do I go fight this thing again, though? That's a good question. Make sure there's no other Natarians to be had. Nip, everybody's all good. Hop. Is it just out and about travelling? Well, it is not in any of these. Angry squared. A lovely way to put it. I guess I just keep resting until it appears in a location. Nip, try again. Good back roll, Bryn. Other than some esoteric achievements, it's the only thing I've got left to do, really. That might uncover some more lore-y stuff. No, that's all cleared. Clear, 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 and cleared again. Unless we get one after the fact. Forge, Glasstail, Winter. There it is. Okay, it's in Lower Denevron. And it's in the other places. Fascinating. Right, well, it's clear weather. Let's go to Boopy Snoot. Lower Denevron's alright, because it's very likely in the market, and I do like fighting things in the market. Just a little bit. Onward! Excuse me, scissors. You have no power here. My armor is too strong for you, and I will never get tired of gloating it. Oh, wait up. That one did some damage. Oh, did he damage his mate? Beautiful. Golden scissors, though. Different matter. Oh, look, there it is. Bear with me, fiend. Just dealing with these. Okay, swap to bow. Get Frostball ready. Break all the little bits off it.
There's the herald.
Then we stuck in the face.
I know I can harvest its pattern. Just need to do it again.
Hello! Oh, no, not the sword. That was a mistake. Oh, wrong bit. The horns did not get frosty. No! Son of a gun! I can never turn around fast enough to freeze the arm. Yep, some good old gravity maelstrom. Need to make it brittle. Like, the actual difference that brittle makes is not to be understated. Give me away! Using the vulnerability against them feels good. Oh, nice. Get shot into Frostball. Goodness. My turn. Oh yeah, give me all the stuff. Swine. Big swing. Have a bit. Oh, I yeeted myself into it. Too far down, too far down. Oh, I got stuck over there on a little bit of rock. Nope. I mean, there could be all sorts they do in future for it. Uh-oh. Mine the gravity bomb. Hop. Oh, the telekinesis one, much better for aiming specifically. Wrong way. Wait, put it. Oh, bless me. My apologies, I was not fast enough on the mic. Wasn't there. Nope. Well, quickly get to stream and yeet. Nope. Ah! I mistimed it. Quickly heal before the fire. Okay, we're good. Look how often it keeps the brittle in effect. Okay, about one more. Whoop. No, two more. There's the horn on the head as well. Slightly knackered. So useful for making a good getaway. Make sure we keep the head nice and frosty. And bonk. Okay, we cling, and then we need to freeze the arm, it said. Even if I didn't need to do that in the final battle, because for whatever reason it didn't do so. Right, grab me anyway! Absolute swine. Ooh, I deserve that. Try and think more of that together. Does not care. Oh, bounced. Bubble, I think. Nope, nope. Too far into dust. I'd go that far. Absolutely. No, 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 no. Listen, you. My legs! Why was this easier? In the actual story fight. Aha! Ooh, I got yeeted. Wrong direction. Okay, it's definitely bubble. Keep just. Ah. Damn. Unlike the main story fight, I actually now have to deal with this arm. And they're just shaking it off. if I just put enough ice in that hand, then it will be fine. Slightly mistimed it. Just keep piling the ice on. Whilst not getting murdered. Hey, look. Nope, you can't grab me. There's a big ball of ice in the way. Aha! Double whip. Oh, head came off. Hello. It'd make for a cool armor set itself. That's something I'd love to see in a sequel. Not just these different armor sets where you kind of mix bits and bobs together, but stuff specifically from each creature you fight. It's more options, more set bonuses, more delicious collections. And maybe a transmog system. Maybe that's asking too much, but I could always do with a transmog system. Not that all these materials mean much now. Not being murdered is always the operative part. That's always the dream, you know. You can take them down without them taking you down. Alright, let's head on home. Into Strands we go. Be a pretty short stream, actually. Aye, no more bonus conversations. Hello, Alva. We got to give you one more pet for the road. Yes, you're so adorable. Yeah. Oh, should I wait and do this until I've done the quest first in case it makes it used up? Probably. Alright, Lane, what can we discover about aliens?
Good news. I harvested the Herald's pattern.
Splendid. If you'll let me handle the resonance. Dom, come and look at this.
Fascinating. It really
Bollocks.
is like nothing I've laid hands on.
The auto talkie's buggering me. I haven't had it on all game and it suddenly became default.
Walk me through it, team.
Dom, do you want to?
Yes. This is the second resonance I've had access to, and I didn't realize before, but it's clearly not of this world.
Aliens.
It resembles nothing mentioned in any literature I've ever seen. The Hearthsiders' libraries have nothing about this, not even the Spindle's tomes. Exploring the possibility of other worlds could consume decades of a researcher's life, and they barely scratch the surface. It was a theoretical, primary theological pursuit before, but this strand changes everything.
So you're suggesting this is an entirely novel field of research?
That is precisely the fact of the matter, my curly-haired friend.
I'm happy for you both. I really am. But I've got some mild concerns about this resonance I've brought home. Particularly around the risk of it regenerating into a Surgeborn the size of a Hallowpire temple when we're not looking.
I would not like to see that either. The resonance is self-healing, but beyond that, it seems that some other element dictates the Herald's regeneration.
Okay.
I would not be surprised if you saw it again, but without its connection to home, it will not be able to evolve or adapt.
Or talk.
So the resonance heals itself, but it won't turn into a Surgeborn on its own. Good.
There's something else to worry about. One large thing.
Planet.
What amount of this information are we comfortable
Oh, no,
sharing?
good point. Yep.
With
We
whom?
tell people there's aliens.
Wish I could draw from weaving history to provide guidance, but something this big has never happened before.
No, I feel like you should tell people.
The Axel has always appreciated our transparency. We should tell her first.
I would assume she's busy with her duties as interim leader, but on the other hand, I've no clue.
We have to tell her.
Truly, my font of wisdom runs
Like there's a
empty.
portal to another world
I
in their
think this
basement.
one's big enough that we can bother her about it without feeling guilty.
You're right, of course. I'll meet you in Cassidon's hold. I just need to document this while it's fresh in my mind.
And I will continue experimenting.
Oh, Tom.
See you in the hold, Lane.
Right, now I can upgrade the strand. Boom. Upgraded all powers to level 3. Thank you, Steam Achievement. Again, tiny bit of feedback. I'd love for each time you upgrade these, it to actually tangibly tell me, like, this one shoots you further. You know, it doesn't have to be a huge size increased by 50%, you know? Your fire shoots faster. Your little fella gets more bombs. Creates more barrage. I mean, they are pretty self-explanatory, but I just like knowing the details, you know? Alright, to the hold. I don't know if I've had any, like, achievement pop up for saying collected all of the codex entries. Which leaves me a little bit, but mayhaps by the time we hand in this quest. Axel, we're here with, and you're not going to believe this.
Good morning, Karnatame. Might we trouble you with some questions?
I think that one would go over quite well, Edge.
You're already here, so you may as well.
Get on that. Find the subreddit.
This is a pretty big one, for the record.
We have learned something astounding about the Surgeborn and the fundamental nature of the source.
Something new?
Yes. When Bryn was engaged in combat down in the source, the Herald spoke to her of its origins. It told her it hailed from another world, and at the source is a celestial wound through which the Surgeborn found their way here.
We thought it might have been lying, trying to throw me off. But recently, we realized it's regenerated. So I killed it again. Took a resonance from its pattern to Lane and Darm, and
It was all true.
all of it.
Darm is very excited about the existence of other worlds.
It's
will
worlds
continue
plural, I
searching,
suppose.
but it
The moment
sets
there's one, there's more.
How so?
You and I spoke at length on how the truth, the whole truth, must be made available to all. But this isn't just some political secret. It changes our approach to everything. Religion, weaving, the way we place ourselves in the world.
I understand. I assume you've thought a great deal about this. Give me a risk assessment.
That's just the thing. Understanding more about the world, it's beautiful, wonderful. I have enough perspective, however, to know that the same may not be true for others, especially those who have lived here through the Surge. Would it bring peace to their hearts? Would this knowledge shared free to all improve their lives? I fear not. But perhaps I am the fool for thinking that I am wise enough to know.
I mean, if we
what
don't
best
tell them,
rights.
though, and the portal opens up
I
beneath their
see.
feet again, that's going to be a problem.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts with me. First things first, we need to find out what Kenrick knew about this. Let's
Oh
fetch
my
him,
god,
shall
if he
we?
knew that they were aliens, we got to punch him again.
I was hoping to draw on some of your memories, if you wouldn't mind. It's in regards to a security matter.
If it's a security matter, then those two.
Oh my god, he's
should be
still got some
privy.
sass.
That's no longer your call.
Let me punch him.
In the years where
Now
you held
punch him.
Surgeborn Talon in custody, did it ever speak to you of its origins?
I will not incriminate.
Oh my
myself.
god.
I'm simply asking a question from someone who's in charge to someone who was in charge.
And you may simply ram that question up where the sun doesn't
Son
shine.
of a bitch. Smack this man.
Useless. You may leave.
Wow, useless.
I'm useless. I'm not the one chasing religious fairy tales about worlds beyond our own.
We didn't say that. That's why it's in italics. You silly
So
son of a
you
bitch.
knew and kept it to yourself. That's more than enough from you.
I'll leave you to your hunt for a desert Akala then.
Exhausting. I'm sorry.
Why are you letting him work? Put him in prison, goddammit.
Now, given the services you have rendered us, I believe you deserve a little trust. So I'll listen to what you think I should tell our people of the Herald and the worlds beyond ours and whatever else.
It's humbling to have earned such trust, and we won't squander it. Before I speak, do you have any thoughts on this, Bryn?
Yes. These are really esoteric ones. The thesis about it's one thing. Saying, oh, I'm thinking about people who find solace in faith. I don't think the existence of other worlds, whether fictional or literal, has ever stopped that thing. Like, if aliens show up, folks can still have their faith and think gods exist, you know? It doesn't stop that. I'm going to do the second one.
When I
Possibilities.
brought the resonance back to camp, Dom said that it meant the
I mean, you're right, AJ. You're absolutely right. It's gone from not useful at all to actively hindering things still.
Properly understand the Surgeborn before the labs were overrun. I don't know. I think it would be a shame if Dom was the only person in the entire world to have that opportunity.
I still wish there was an option there of tell truth for people, because truth.
It would be sad to force him to work in secret for the rest of his life.
I don't think that'd be ideal, no. Lane, please regale us with your conclusions.
Bryn covered some of what I've been musing over, but for the sake of completeness, I'll recap it all with my own thoughts.
Go on.
3 major facets of this problem loom in my mind. First, that of the research possibilities. Keeping this revelation under lock and key would obviously gatekeep untold numbers of discoveries. Second, that of those who adhere to the various religions around the Maida. I fear that disclosing the existence of other worlds to the public at large could upset a great many people at best.
I mean, yeah, it's a fair point,
Trigger
but
a holy war at worst. They have been waged on far smaller provocations than this. Finally, and
burden of proof and
most
whatnot.
importantly, so many of the problems we've encountered here have been because people kept secrets.
Exactly.
Whether they were forced to keep them or not, the existence of those secrets significantly hamstrung our efforts to learn about the Enclave. If I had any choice in the matter, I would change that status quo in a heartbeat.
They're right.
Now is your chance. If you want to seize the moment, I will respect your choice.
The irony is that I find myself faltering on the precipice.
Oh, absolutely. I completely agree with that, AJ. It would change the world. If people even believed it. But I still think having that information is more important than not.
I would have been adamant that everyone know each intimate detail. But now, I believe we must find an acceptable truth to share. But not the whole truth.
I understand.
What do you have in mind, then?
Subject to your approval, we start by telling your people the story of the source, the entire truth, barring that of the breach. Then we tell the people that, as it stands right now, the monster they saw at the Grand Gate is eternal. But
Eternal Strands. Not going to say the title, are we?
We keep its true origins close to our chest. Knowing how to contain the Surgeborn is much more important. For now, we tell part of the truth. We share select details and let the people weave their own interpretations. We control the narrative by allowing conflicting narratives to spread.
I don't know, Lane.
One day, the denizens of the Maida may be ready to know the full truth.
I feel like history will repeat itself.
Acceptable to you,
And then there'll be another explosion in the Enclave and people won't know.
And might I say, you would have made an amazing
AJ.
politician had you stayed in Udea.
Look, Lane, they are trying to do somewhere in the middle of the road.
Strong a moral core to do that kind of work.
Very understandable. It's not for everyone. Nevertheless, I will communicate our story to the public.
I find it fascinating this isn't one of those choices that I've been able to pick.
Trust again.
Which might indicate what they want to do with it in the next game.
Lane, Bryn, thank you for your time and assistance.
You're welcome.
It has been our everlasting pleasure, Karnatame.
You as well, Lane. Well done. They've been fantastic the whole game. Now, go on, let's go poke the badger one more time. You scumbag, and I don't mean you. Leave! You should be the one in prison. Nah, we're doing I beat you again. Nothing new to say. Nah, not at all. Well then. Unless anything new has popped up at camp. I'm still... They are all ticked off, but I never got a pop-up. Could be a bug. I know I've got them all. That's the important thing. I know I have all of the codexes. Maybe I missed it. It's okay. Gotta let it go. There's just one book somewhere in the game. One book nobody's found. Stopping the achievement. Ah! Oh, we just gotta hand it in. Or maybe this will be the last codex entry. Them writing about the lack of space.
I feel as if a great weight has been lifted from my shoulders. When one begins to live their life beyond dusty old tomes, they must reckon with the complexities that are part and parcel of lived experience. Which is to say, you have truly been an agent of change in my life, Bryn. In wonderful ways, of course.
Well,
Oh my god.
you're not so bad yourself.
That's a great idea, AJ. Oh no. We completely 180. We're the true villains now.
How are you feeling about your research as a whole?
I got you.
I'm going to chronicle everything. Even if some of it may not see the light of day for some time, I have faith that it
Hey,
will.
if you write it down, Lane,
And when it does,
people will see their work
it will
one
be
day.
useful to those who need it.
They'll be finding codex entries.
Keeping it under wraps, I mean.
I suppose I have learned a sense of nuance. In Udea, keeping secrets was like breathing, but almost every secret was trivial or petty at best. And, more importantly, kept as a means through which to exert power. That was Kenrick's approach too. Power through secrets. Whereas I would hope that my reasons to keep secrets are driven by a sense of care and kindness. Do you think so?
I do. And more importantly, I know you're the kind of person to seek outside accountability if you need it.
With you and everyone else at my back, my worries are now few and far between.
Oh,
All
bless
that
him.
remains is to continue my research. And I'll need you to keep bringing back items of interest.
No, I've got them
of
all.
course.
I've got them all.
I won't stop looking for things to bring home. Don't you worry.
Then I won't keep you. Get adventuring.
There it is. Nope, it's a different pop-up. No more codex.
It's a tragic story, really. The dissenters.
Yes, they were scared. Everyone was. And I don't blame them for not trusting the eye. So they did what they felt right, and
it all went wrong anyway.
Aye, it could be, AJ. Aye, it could be. It'd be really fascinating if there's a big time jump between now and the sequel. And just with all the racism world building, I'd hope for some character creation, but if it's our Weaver band again, I'd be happy for that too. We'll see.
They trust us.
They've certainly built up enough to do a lot.
If we work together, I'm sure we can find a way back out.
very true. I'm sure the dissenters would have been happy to see the progress we've made. While their methods may have been ineffective, it's important to remember that they were a product of circumstance. After all, it's hard to make wise choices in a climate of panic. Their intentions were good. So, I would like to imagine that our efforts honor their memories, at the very least.
For sure.
Hey, I'll take that, AJ. We all need a bit of balance. Oh, Arya suddenly has one thing to say. What is it, Cap?
Who would have thought the Herald was telling the truth?
Oh, it's about the aliens.
Not me. The fact that it so readily shared that information.
Oh, we're sequel baiting.
It doesn't sit well with me.
Do you think it was trying to manipulate us?
Every word it ever spoke was in service of that goal.
Mm.
Just focus on what you do best. Answers will come with time.
Will do.
Very wise. Very wise indeed. Right, and with our quests all completed and done, our codex as full as I think I can get it, then unless something crazy has just turned up on one of the maps, like a super boss or something with a name I don't recognize. Nope, just double check the areas. 26, 21, 22, 28, 29. Another one down on the others. Yep, and yep. That, everyone, has been Eternal Strands. Covered plenty of his thoughts as the credits rolls, but suffice it to say, I had a wonderful time with this game. I hope more folks give it a go. Both reasonably priced, and it's on Game Pass. And there is going to be a roadmap for whether that's future content or balancing or changes they've got in store for the game. That'll be coming out over the next week. For me on this end, I will now be taking... I am a little bit edgy, I can't help myself. As long as... If I'd gotten to this endgame point and it was get 85 more codexes. Like, by the time we got to Dragon Age, I was like, and some of those will be missable too. I can't do it. But when they're tidbits and they're delivered in such a clever way, couldn't help myself. But for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be taking a break from streaming just for the better part of a week so I can focus on getting Twitch set up so I can dual stream a Twitch and YouTube at the same time. Good morning, Azeroth, and our WoW streams will return on the 26th with the new Undermine patch launching and Goblin Town GTA-style shenaniganry. And the evening streams will return on the 28th with Monster Hunter Wilds. I'll probably be starting as early as I can and be going very late because I really want to sink my fangs into it. Oh, I'm excited! And this has been a great warm-up for Monster Hunting things. And again, if I don't manage to get the Twitch from working or there's some kind of crazy issue, I'll still come back and be streaming on those. But ideally, I get it all up and working and running because I'm comfortable enough that I can start building up over there as well. For now then, folks, I will say thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed yourselves, don't forget to hit that like button. Help push the video through the algorithm so more folks can come hang out and play some games with us. Subscribe for more content here on the channel. We're on the weekdays, 9 AM GMT World of Warcraft, and between 4 and 6 PM for other games on the evenings. You can find playlists to everything else we've already covered on this channel right there in that little playlist section to binge to your heart's content. Cheers, AJ, and thank you as ever for stopping by. Have yourself a good week now, bub. I look forward to seeing you when we get back again. And for those who have watched this entire Eternal Strands journey, you've got through the full playlist and got to this point, get down in the comments. Drop like a pizza or a food item and a symbol, a clap, a heart, whatever you give you, and I'll heart in return and know that you've come all this way along the journey with me. I do appreciate it immensely when folks get through and binge a whole game. So until next time, folks, much love, take care, and bye-bye.